Welcome to the Soft Power Project, the podcast that journals the story of women as they navigate their own transformations. I'm Sherry, a certified coach and your host. In my mid-30s, I made the bold decision to reinvent my life. Now in my 40s, I'm sharing that journey along with the stories of women who inspire me. Like you, we're embracing growth to become our highest selves. Let's celebrate the power of self-exploration, one story at a time. Hello everyone, welcome back to Soft Power Project. Today, I wanted to talk about what we can do to prepare ourselves to be healthy moms or healthy parents. And I think that the society has sold us on the idea of motherhood to be someone who's just basking in the joy and the glow and constantly celebrating, which is a very small part of the reality. And thinking back to all of the hospital visits when I was pregnant with my daughter, it was all about physical health, right? The physical health of the mother and the health of the infant. It was all about what kind of supplements we can take and also exercises that we can do. But postpartum depression was not talked about. Or I think the nurse probably mentioned it to me once. And it wasn't even a discussion. It was just her saying that, hey, there's this thing called postpartum depression, and you have to be aware of it. But of course, at the time, I didn't know what that really means. I heard of it, but then in my head, I went, well, that's never going to happen to me. So I didn't pay too much attention to it. But after interviewing Sharon, my lovely guest in episode 16, it truly dawned on me that mental health is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing for new moms. And it's not talked about it enough. So there are a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Number one is learn how to be aware of your triggers. And I wish I'd known this way before I was even pregnant. But of course, I didn't, so I learned it the hard way. One of the biggest triggers for new moms is losing control. I think not just for new moms, I think for a lot of people, losing a sense of control, it's really scary. And having an infant in your house, I think that definitely amplify that fear, especially if you're someone that had built a career. When you build a career, it's about planning, it's about problem solving, it's about avoiding problems, plan more. But when it comes to infants, when it comes to babies, there's so much chaos, so many uncertainties. It's very difficult to stay in control all the time. So instead, it's really about embracing the messy part of life, the chaos and the uncertainties. And tell yourself, it is really okay that my room is a mess. It is okay that I don't look like myself. This will pass. And it is okay that I haven't washed my face and it's already 9 p.m. at night. And it's okay that I'm still wearing my PJ. To really embrace that, I think that also triggers a lot of new moms because then we feel like, my God, like where am I? Who is this woman in front of the mirror? I cannot recognize her anymore. Be aware of your trigger. And I really wished I knew that before. But how? And this kind of leads me to the second point, is the having tools you need to cope with stress or triggers. For me, it's definitely therapy. I started going to therapy 2.5 years ago, and it saved my life. And I really wished I started going to therapy like way earlier, even before pregnancy, so that I can actually have these tools that helps myself to cope with the stress and the triggers and all the uncertainties. But if you don't want therapy, I think what really helps me is that to schedule a specific time of the week. You only need an hour or 40 minutes if you like to just go to a space in your bedroom or somewhere to allow yourself to have the me time. And yes, sometimes certain weeks you don't really think there is a need for that, but do it anyway. So get used to allowing yourself to have that me time, to sit with your emotion, to sit with all the frustration, and allow yourself to just let it be, to be present in that moment. If you have the resource, let someone else take care of your baby during that time. But setting that time frame so that it's part of your routine well before the pregnancy, I think that will really benefit any new moms. Third is to create a support system. What I mean is not just family. I mean, include your friends, include neighbors, even include someone you don't know really, really well, but you think that you can trust them. Because after you've given birth, a lot of women do experience postpartum depression. And I did that too. I definitely experienced a lot of that. And for me, I went into the postpartum center. I lived there for like 20 days. And because I thought to myself, hey, it's so expensive, maybe I should just leave and go home and have my mom to help me out. And my mom was very happy to do that. So that was the plan. Went home, my mom immediately had to go to the hospital. And my world got just turned upside down because I had absolutely no idea what are the food that I can make. What do I do? What do I do when I need to make food? And at the time I was recovering from having cesarean. So that was another complex part of the problem. So basically I ended up just kind of locking myself in the bedroom. I didn't want it to leave. I didn't even turn on lights. I think I was living in darkness because that's literally how I felt. And I remember my neighbor. So I didn't really even had a close relationship with her, but I just reached out to neighbors like, I'm not doing well. And immediately she bought groceries and she just came to my house and she just started cooking. And she didn't even ask me where things are. She just like, go to your bedroom, take a break. I will figure it out. And she cooked me a meal and she even cooked me leftovers. And I was so grateful because at the time I had no energy to ask for help because I felt so crappy. I feel so guilty. And I feel so frustrated with the situation that I didn't want to ask for help, but all I can say is I am not well. But she came over anyway. So I think it's really important to create that support system. Even when your parents are not around, you can definitely do that. Just tell your neighbor, tell your friends that, hey, can you drop by on this day and that day just to check on me? It's really crucial for the mother to have healthy mental status when taking care of infant, because that's the time where we feel so incredibly lonely. So again, know your triggers, having the proper tool to help you to cope with stress, and creating strong support system so that they can come in without you asking for help. And I really hope this episode can help some of you out there who's thinking about entering into motherhood or parenthood. Mental health, it's crucial. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you guys next time. The Soft Power Project is produced and hosted by Sherry Fang. For any inquiry, please email us at softpower.u@gmail.com.